Evaristo by Carlos Sampayo and Francisco Solano Lopez. This is crime police comic. Is this writer is an Argentinian one. He is responsible of Alexiner. We have this book was released on the US by IDW. This is the full Spanish omnibus edition. IDW, I think, made 2 books. They were some of these stories were originally published by Fantagraphics, and you can find some videos about this on the Cartoonist Kayfabe Living the Line channel. Also, recently, Sampayo, this was released on Spain, Joe's Bar. Some of these stories, for example, this second one appeared on Raw magazine by Art Spiegelman. So, yeah, Sampayo is now a stranger to the US. And who is Francisco Solano Lopez? He is the artist on this little book called The Other Knot, published by Fantagraphics. So, 2 no names to the US in a way. And this work was made in the 80s. It is based on a real person, but more about the image he had. Like Evaristo Meneses was a real policeman on Argentina that from 1957 to 1962 made a lot of arrests. He was like an efficient policeman. You have a documentary about the real person and this fictionalized version on this QR code. I'll put a link on the description because it's a YouTube link. And what we have here is the full stories that were published on. It was serialized on a magazine called Fierro in Argentina, and here we have like some words about it, an index with the dates, like 1983 to 1987, I think, was last published. Yes. So based on that idea, it was a time where in Argentina was a lot of crime, and they were, and this it was really violent times. So this character seems there was such amount of crime. There was a policeman who made like a lot of police work, and that's basically it. I know in the US it's like weird to have a book talk about the police in a good light. You have to know that Carlos Sampayo has made books like Sinner, for example, that shows and that police are corrupt. And this one is no, isn't different in some of these stories, but a lot of them, sure, this policeman is the hero of the story, and he's not like a good man. He's a man, you know. He's just a person. You feel like it's real. So well, we have this Solano Lopez art style, very different from what you can see in the other note. For me, it's better. I like a lot how he does this Evaristo costume, his clothes. Faces, like the faces is persons. It's like people you have seen. And of course, the backgrounds, it sends you to this city that maybe doesn't exist no more, and to an era, you know, different than the modern times. For me, it was just a must buy, just because of the art, you know. But the stories are good themselves, and this is like a 200 pages book. It was, it is a lot of short stories, like 8 to 16 pages, and each story is a case. And maybe you're asking yourself, like, how can you tell a full case on such short amount of pages? And you can see that there is not really that much dialogue, and there is only dialogue. There's no narration. So how can they do this? Because there's a lot of ellipses. There's a lot of jumps between each frame. For example, here we have Evaristo walking, then we have another character, but Evaristo is thinking while this is happening, then they cross here. So a lot of stuff happens, but you have to read really slow, take your time with every drawing to understand what is happening. For example, here we have the beginning of chapter 2. We have this guy telling Evaristo that a girl is missing. There's a joke even for the reader. Then we have the guy who left the room, and we don't see that, but we know he did. So what we have here is just Evaristo thinking about this case and jumping to, and then he goes out again. We don't have him leaving his office. So the book is like very compact, very efficient. It's like just the bones of it. It just has like the important stuff. For example, you don't see character opening a door of a whole page like maybe a manga does. I know it sounds weird, but it works really well, and it's very different, at least to me, to a lot of stuff that I read in that approach of storytelling. There's even like pages without any dialogue. and to great effect. There's a lot of these maybe not really that important to the case stuff, but it's important to the portrait of an era and um, and the personality of the characters. Because Evaristo is a man from another time, so all these scenes makes you like get how these uh, people and brains work. Stories themselves are really entertaining. The first one is about a criminal that was a boxer on past times, and Evaristo was also a boxer. Now he's a policeman, and this guy, takes some hostages and asks for Evaristo. And in the end, they have like a rematch. I'll not spoil how it ends, but that's basically the story. They are not sure. Sometimes they are really complex. For example, this one is about the disappearance of a girl whom her father is someone important. So that's basically the case. And we have this missing girl case. We have this rematch case. We have this is about Nazis on Argentina. Like some of them were hiding after the World War II. We have this. This story is very complex in like to get it. You have they are short in space, but the time it took, at least to me, to read them was around I don't know, to read like 16 pages, like from 20 something to 30 minutes, because a lot of stuff happens on these books, on these stories. Not every single one of them gets resolved in a satisfactory way for the good guys. At least for me as a reader, they are. I think everyone was satisfactory. I'm not really that picky. El Loco Nieto, it's about this guy who kills a police man, and about a mother who asked Evaristo to find his baby boy. And the story has to do with these cults, basically. And I know it sounds really packed because all these stories have something to do with each other. Really packed for 16 pages. This one, Villa Carton, is about some camps, no water, there's a crime in there. How do you solve a case on these places? We have then this panic on the streets. This one is about Evaristo and his newfound son, also a tiger, a lion, loose on the streets. The depth. I have this story about this guy who this guy who is in prison. He's gonna be free this day. Evaristo is waiting, and we get to know why Evaristo is waiting for him and why he's in prison. This fight with knives, for example, reminds me a lot of some Jorge Luis Borges stories, like The End or South. Legend of a Heart Shooter, Gunman. It's about this like a criminal who gets injured and he goes to some doctor, and the doctor is like he saves human lives, and every life is the same to him. So he helps this bad guy in a way. And what happens when the bad guy needs you again? And this story also is hits from melts diamonds. It's about a diamond robbery. I don't really remember this one very well. This one is really raw. These drawings. It's about death prostitutes. And in this one we have Evaristo sends other guy to investigate. So it's like a story about Evaristo not being the main character. It's a good one, again. This one is very crazy, a crazy one. Photos of a famous pianist. This one is it has a lot of jumping between timelines. This rain on the window is really good. And also we have this one, Gypsy. It's about gypsy people, Gitanos. Story. The interesting point about the story is about, again, a crime, and a guy who is charged guilty, and he doesn't play like innocent. But at the end, he was innocent, and nobody cared, and he's released, but never reveals like why he didn't say anything. The Avenger is a really good one. It's about a serial killer killing women, and this guy like really with a wife really paranoid about this, and but in the end maybe that paranoia hides something or provokes something, so yeah, I really like that one. And so short, they are so short but so good. And this other story about a bank robbery, but everyone on the bank was like drugged with the vaccine and they all died. So the nurse maybe is responsible, or someone lied to her. Talks a lot about the morals of this. Like there's two kinds of robbers on this story, and the difference between them is like about killing people, and like the morals about it. To rob a bank. This one is about This one is funny because it has this policeman that um, this cop that throws up or faints when he sees blood. And we also have this last story, and it's about this old friend that goes to Evaristo because he knows something about shady, about important people, people in charge, and he's being followed and asked to Evaristo for protection. This story has a really sad ending and leaves you with a lot of dread, maybe, even for Evaristo, who in the end leaves, like the police department. So, yeah, Evaristo, this is not available in English as of now. It was, I don't know if it was fully collected, but I know there's a book called Evaristo Deep City. I don't know who released that, but it was a really long time ago. So I think maybe it's time for maybe Fanographics, maybe even leaving the line channel, and maybe it's time to get this material to the US. They have Alexiner, why not have also this one? Great police crime comic. Very different from Alexiner, very different art style from the other not. So I think it's really worth your time.